Can you subscribe to my new channel for support purposes? During the Cold War years, human technology advanced even further. Weapon systems, defense mechanisms, and exploration tools were continually upgraded to maintain superiority in space. The aliens, on the other hand, fell behind in the face of this rapid technological advancement, growing weaker with each passing day. Empowered by their technological superiority, humans believed they were the masters of the galaxy. Ultimately, human invasions intensified, and many alien planets were completely conquered. The ruthless advance of humans led to the extinction or enslavement of many alien species. The destruction and pain caused by the war left deep scars among alien societies. For humanity, however, these victories were seen as steps towards solving future resource problems. During this period, many humans were also disturbed by the consequences of these wars and invasions. Peaceful groups raised their voices against humanity's ruthless advance but were suppressed by the warmongers. These internal conflicts on Earth increased humanity's own unrest. However, the speed of the war and invasion led to the suppression of these voices. Thus, the years-long Cold War between Earth and the aliens went down in history as a period where aliens suffered great losses and humanity continued its ruthless advance. Humanity's ambition to conquer the galaxy had turned into a nightmare for the aliens. However, the events that would unfold at the end of this war would lead to consequences that no one could have predicted. Amidst the chaos of the interstellar conflict, there was a quiet, remote village on Earth where a solitary old man named Ethan lived. Ethan had once been a part of the bustling world, but the horrors of the war had taken everything from him: his family, friends, and the life he once knew. Seeking peace and solace, he had retreated to this isolated village, far from the noise and destruction of the war-torn world. One fateful day, while Ethan was foraging in the nearby forest, he stumbled upon a sight that would change his life forever. Lying amidst the underbrush was a young, severely wounded alien girl. Her delicate, otherworldly features and the strange, shimmering patterns on her skin marked her as one of the many alien species humans had been at war with. Despite the deep mistrust and hatred that had been bred into humanity over years of conflict, Ethan felt a pang of empathy for the injured girl. Ethan carefully lifted the frail girl into his arms and carried her back to his humble cabin. The journey was slow and arduous, but Ethan's determination to save her gave him strength. He laid her gently on his bed and began to treat her wounds with the limited medical supplies he had. The girl, though weak and in pain, looked at him with eyes full of gratitude and hope. Over the following days, Ethan dedicated himself to nursing the girl back to health. He cleaned and bandaged her wounds, provided her with food and water, and stayed by her side, offering comfort and reassurance. The girl, who introduced herself as Lyra, began to regain her strength under Ethan's care. As she recovered, she shared her story with him, revealing the horrors she had faced at the hands of the humans and the destruction of her home planet. Ethan listened to Lyra's tale with a heavy heart. He had always known that the war was brutal, but hearing it from Lyra's perspective made him see the true extent of the suffering it had caused. He realized that she, like him, was a victim of circumstances beyond her control, and his empathy for her grew deeper. As the weeks passed, Lyra's health improved, and she began to adapt to life in the village. Ethan taught her about Earth's customs and culture, and she shared with him the knowledge and wisdom of her people. Despite the language barrier, they communicated through gestures, drawings, and a growing understanding of each other's worlds. Their bond grew stronger, founded on mutual respect and the shared experience of loss and survival. One evening, as the sun set over the forest, casting a warm golden light through the trees, Ethan and Lyra sat together outside the cabin. The silence between them was comfortable, filled with unspoken understanding. Lyra looked at Ethan, her eyes reflecting the gratitude and affection she felt for him. "Ethan," she said softly, her voice still carrying the melodic accent of her native language, "you saved my life." "I don't know how to repay you." Ethan shook his head and smiled gently. "You don't need to repay me, Lyra. You've brought meaning back into my life. After losing everything, I had given up hope. But now, with you here, I feel alive again." Their relationship, once built on necessity and survival, had blossomed into something deeper. Lyra and Ethan found solace and companionship in each other, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. They fell in love, their hearts healing together amidst the ruins of their pasts. As their love grew, so did their family. Lyra and Ethan had children, beautiful hybrids who carried the best traits of both their parents. These children, with their unique blend of human and alien characteristics, represented hope for a future where coexistence was possible. Ethan and Lyra's home became a sanctuary of love and learning, a place where two worlds met and flourished. The village, once a place of solitude for Ethan, transformed into a vibrant community. Other survivors of the war, both human and alien, found their way to this haven. Together they rebuilt their lives, creating a society that valued peace, understanding, and mutual respect. Ethan and Lyra's love and resilience became an inspiration to all who knew them. Years passed, and the small village thrived. Ethan, though older and frailer, remained a pillar of strength and wisdom for his family and community. Lyra, with her unearthly beauty and gentle spirit, continued to be a source of light and hope for everyone around her. Their love had not only saved them, but had also given rise to a new beginning for many others. However, the shadow of the past loomed large. The memories of the war and the atrocities committed still haunted Lyra. She could never forget the destruction of her home planet and the loss of her people. As much as she loved her new life with Ethan, a part of her heart remained burdened with sorrow and a desire for justice. The turning point came when Ethan, having lived a long and fulfilling life, peacefully passed away. Lyra was devastated by his loss, feeling the weight of grief and loneliness once more. But this time her sorrow was accompanied by a burning resolve. She could not let the sacrifices and suffering of her people be in vain. She could not let the humans' cruelty go unpunished. With Ethan gone, Lyra's focus shifted to ensuring the future and safety of her children and their descendants. She knew that the only way to secure their future was to confront the very forces that had caused so much pain and destruction. Gathering the survivors and their allies, Lyra began to organize a resistance. She trained her children and their kin in the ways of warfare, preparing them for the inevitable confrontation with the humans. Lyra's heart was heavy with the dual burden of love and vengeance. She had known great kindness and deep cruelty from humans, and this complex mix of emotions fueled her determination. She vowed to honor Ethan's memory by fighting for a future where her children could live in peace, free from the fear of annihilation. The stage was set for a final showdown, a decisive battle that would determine the fate of both humans and aliens. Lyra, now a fierce and determined leader, led her people into the fray, ready to face the challenges ahead. The love that had once healed her heart now gave her the strength to fight for a just and lasting peace. The village that had been a sanctuary would become the heart of a new movement, one that sought to end the cycle of violence and create a world where all beings could coexist. Lyra's journey, shaped by love and loss, would continue to inspire and guide her people as they embarked on this new and uncertain path. Ethan's peaceful life had gained meaning after meeting Lyra. The family they had built together had become a beacon of hope. However, as the years passed, Ethan aged and his health deteriorated. His children and Lyra ensured he spent his old age surrounded by loved ones, providing him with a peaceful and content life. Ethan lived a life full of love from his family and community. One day, Ethan reached the end of his life. As he lay in his bed, surrounded by those he loved, his eyes were locked on Lyra. Even in his final moments, Ethan's eyes conveyed the love he felt for her. Lyra held Ethan's hand and said her final goodbye. This farewell left a deep wound in Lyra's heart. Ethan's death left a vast emptiness and profound pain within Lyra. Struggling to cope with his absence, she felt lost. However, over time, this pain turned into anger. Carrying the sorrow of the war caused by humans and Ethan's death in her heart, Lyra decided to take revenge. She couldn't forgive the cruelty humans had inflicted on her species and loved ones. Throughout this process, Lyra's leadership skills and determination naturally made her the leader of the resistance. The love she felt for her species and her children made her stronger. Lyra planned a massive attack against the humans, aiming to obliterate their world. Her fury and thirst for revenge had turned her into an unstoppable force. The resistance movement was prepared with great secrecy. Lyra and her army meticulously planned their strategies and weaponry against the humans. When the moment of the attack arrived, Lyra led a large-scale assault. Humans, caught off guard by this sudden and violent attack, were unprepared. Lyra and her army targeted Earth, obliterating human civilization. This devastating attack was a catastrophic event for humanity. The technological superiority and ruthless invasions of humans over the years lost their significance in the face of Lyra's fury. Earth became a symbol of Lyra's revenge and resistance. She had launched a great war to honor Ethan's memory and protect her species, and she had won that war. However, Lyra's victory was short-lived as she was unaware of a trap set by humans long ago. Humans had placed a powerful doomsday bomb in space to prevent potential alien revenge. When Lyra and her descendants returned to space after destroying Earth, this bomb was activated. A massive explosion occurred, annihilating all life forms in space, including Lyra and her descendants. The explosion's shockwaves spread throughout the universe, leaving no living creature behind. In the end, the universe was engulfed in complete silence and darkness. Not a single light or sound remained. The tragic story of humans and aliens echoed as a silent memory in the universe. All life forms in the universe were wiped out, leaving behind only silence and darkness. The death of Ethan marked a turning point in Lyra's life. Her grief transformed into a burning desire for revenge against the humans who had caused so much suffering. With a newfound sense of purpose, Lyra became a formidable leader, rallying her people and preparing them for the ultimate confrontation. Lyra's children, now grown, were powerful and skilled warriors. They had inherited the best qualities of both their human and alien heritage, making them uniquely suited to lead the resistance. Under Lyra's guidance, they began to gather allies from other alien species who had also suffered under human oppression. Together, they formed a formidable force determined to reclaim their freedom and seek justice for their fallen kin. Lyra's strategy was meticulous. She knew that a direct assault on Earth would be futile without a well-coordinated plan. Over the years, she had gathered intelligence on human defenses, studying their weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Her spies infiltrated human colonies, gathering crucial information that would aid in the upcoming battle. Every move was calculated, every decision made with the utmost care. The Resistance's preparations were intense and thorough. Training sessions were grueling, designed to hone the warriors' skills and prepare them for the harsh realities of war. Lyra herself participated in these trainings, demonstrating her unwavering commitment to the cause. Her leadership inspired her people, instilling in them a sense of hope and determination. As the day of the attack approached, the tension within the resistance grew palpable. Lyra's children took on key roles, each responsible for different aspects of the operation. Their bond as a family strengthened their resolve, making them a force to be reckoned with. Lyra, though burdened with the weight of leadership, found solace in the knowledge that her children were by her side. The attack began under the cover of darkness. The Resistance's ships descended upon Earth with silent precision, avoiding detection by human surveillance systems. Their advanced technology allowed them to disable key defense installations, creating a path for the main assault force. As the first wave of Resistance fighters landed, they were met with fierce resistance from human forces. The battle was intense and chaotic. Explosions lit up the night sky as the two sides clashed with ferocious determination. Lyra fought alongside her people, her combat skills and strategic acumen turning the tide in their favor. Her children, too, proved their worth, leading their units with bravery and skill. The Resistance pressed forward, driven by a collective desire for justice and retribution. Despite their initial success, the humans quickly regrouped, launching a counteroffensive that threatened to overwhelm the Resistance. Lyra's forces found themselves outnumbered and outgunned, struggling to maintain their foothold. The battle teetered on the edge of disaster, with casualties mounting on both sides. In the midst of the chaos, Lyra's daughter, Arya, led a daring mission to sabotage a key human command center. Her team infiltrated the heavily fortified facility, disabling communication networks and crippling the humans' ability to coordinate their defense. Arya's bravery and quick thinking turned the tide, giving the Resistance a much-needed advantage. As the Resistance pushed deeper into human territory, they encountered increasingly desperate and ruthless opposition. The humans, realizing the severity of the threat, unleashed their most devastating weapons in a bid to repel the invaders. The battle raged on, each side refusing to back down. In the heat of battle, Lyra came face to face with General Harrison, the leader of the human forces. Their eyes locked, each recognizing the other as a formidable adversary. The ensuing duel was fierce and brutal, a clash of wills and skill. Lyra's fury and determination drove her forward, but Harrison's experience and tactical prowess made him a formidable opponent. The duel reached its climax as Lyra, fueled by memories of Ethan and the desire to protect her children, delivered a decisive blow. Harrison fell, and with his defeat, the human forces began to falter. The resistance seized the opportunity, pressing their advantage and driving the humans back. Victory, however, came at a great cost. The battlefield was littered with the fallen, both human and alien. Lyra mourned the loss of her comrades, their sacrifice a stark reminder of the price of freedom. Yet, amidst the sorrow, there was a sense of triumph. The resistance had struck a crippling blow to the humans, reclaiming their dignity and autonomy. As the resistance regrouped and tended to their wounded, Lyra reflected on the journey that had brought them here. The death of Ethan, the years of preparation, and the fierce battles had forged them into a resilient and united force. Their victory was not just a testament to their strength, but also to the enduring power of hope and love. With the battle won, Lyra and her children turned their attention to rebuilding. They knew that their struggle was far from over, but they were determined to create a future where their people could thrive. They reached out to other alien species, forging alliances and fostering cooperation. Together, they began the arduous task of healing the wounds of war and building a new society based on mutual respect and understanding. Lyra's leadership continued to inspire her people. She remained a guiding light, her vision of a better future driving their efforts. Her children, now leaders in their own right, carried forward her legacy, ensuring that the sacrifices of their fallen comrades were not in vain. Years passed, and the galaxy began to heal. The scars of war slowly faded, replaced by a newfound sense of unity and purpose. Lyra, though older and wiser, remained steadfast in her commitment to justice and peace. Her story became a legend, a tale of resilience and determination that inspired generations to come. As Lyra gazed at the stars, she felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had honored Ethan's memory, protected her children, and fought for a future where all beings could live in harmony. Her journey had been arduous, but it had been worth every struggle and sacrifice. In the end, Lyra's legacy was not just one of revenge and war, but of love and hope. She had shown that even in the darkest of times, the human and alien spirit could rise above hatred and despair. Her story was a testament to the enduring power of love and the unbreakable bonds of family. And so, as the galaxy continued to evolve, Lyra's name remained etched in the hearts and minds of all who had fought by her side. Her journey had been extraordinary, and her legacy would continue to inspire for generations to come. Don't forget to subscribe.